we are working on last couple of weeks, the development instance is currently down. Okay, so the data fully whatever we have created, it will be erased over there, so we need to recreate over there. Okay, so what I will do, I will demonstrate the current session in different environment. Okay, and once that is ready, then I will recreate whatever the previously we have discussed. I will create up to there, and from there we will continue it. Okay, so in this instance, let us understand the financial main core concept of implementing it. Okay, like for example, if you are as we have discussed in our last session, so we were stuck at the ledger setup. Okay, so the ledger setup is the main parameter where you need to define your chart of accounts. Chart of account is nothing but the collective of all the all the ledger accounts. Okay, so when I say the ledger account is not only the when I say the account, it's individual person or individual thing related things which monetarily do the transaction in a systematic way. Okay, so in that place the ledger will be come over here. Okay, so this particular ledger uh, has classified into two different parts. Okay, that is known as financial statements. In financial statements you will have two different parts. One is the profit and loss, another one is balance sheet. Okay, so in balance sheet you will find two different heads. One is the liability. Okay, which means which you may have loan, or which you may have capitalized, or which may have profit or loss. Okay, in assets you may have your goodwill and your debtor and your fixed assets. Okay, so these all will be, or your investment, these all your assets. Okay, and in profit and loss again it will be divided into four different categories. Okay, one is the direct expenses, indirect income, sorry, direct expenses, direct income, indirect expenses, indirect income. Okay, so based on direct expenses and direct income you will get the gross profit or gross loss. Okay, if your expenditure is high and your income is low, it means it's a loss for you. Okay, if your income is high, if your expenses is low, it means it's a profit for you, gross profit. Okay, these gross profit will be moved forward for the indirect income and indirect expenses. If your indirect income is high and indirect expenses is low, then you will get the net profit. If your indirect expense is high and indirect income is low, then you will get the net loss. Okay, I believe there are a couple of CA students are there, they know about the financial statements very well. I agree, but there are some persons which they don't know understand this particular conceptual. Okay, so these financial statements preparation we require, it can be prepared with the help of ledger accounts, and that ledger accounts only, the collective of all the ledger accounts is known as chart of accounts. Okay, for that what we need to do, we need to go to the general ledger module. Okay, in general ledger module we have chart of accounts. Okay, so in chart of accounts we have five different heads. Okay, which mainly we will discuss about the accounts dimension, accounting structure, and financial tax. Okay, financial tax is the advanced future that I will explain to you in the during the session, but our main focus will be in these three: accounts, dimensions, accounting structure. Okay, so if you go to the accounts, we may have account, chart of account, main account category. Okay, these are the three which mainly we will focus. Okay, so let's discuss one by one. So first we will discuss about the main account category. Okay, so what do you mean by main account category? Okay, when you say main account category, it will be classified as a group of ledger account. Okay, so it will be very easy for you to make the reporting. Okay, like for example cash. you may have couple of cash ledger account. Okay, you may have cash in hand, cash in bank, cash equivalent. These all your cash accounts. Okay, and you may have account receivable. You may have different type of groups in customer. Okay, you may have local customer, foreign customer, inter receivable customer. Okay, so these all customer will be grouped as account receivable. So like that we can categorize the ledger account with the help of main account category. Okay, so main account category is nothing but to for main account category is classified to group all the ledger account and in one category level, and it is very easy for your reporting purpose. Okay, we will see in detail during the financial statement creation. You can easily understand this particular main account category concept where exactly it will be utilized. Okay, so from these each particular main account category, you can link the ledger account. As I say, we can collectively link couple of ledger accounts. So you can see link main account for the cash. So if I click this particular link main account for cash, you can see what are the main accounts has been linked. You can see there are checkbox. These main accounts were linked with this particular main account category. Okay.
Okay, Gautam.
Yeah. Next we have main account. So in main account is nothing but your ledger accounts. Okay, individual ledger account. Like for example, now we have around 5 people. Okay, Sri Lakshmi is one of the ledger account, Gautam is one of the ledger account, Dilip is one of the ledger account, Rakesh one of the ledger account, Prashant one of the ledger account. Okay, now for example, Rakesh transferring fund to Sri Lakshmi. Okay, so at here from Sri Lakshmi book, Sri Lakshmi account, it would be created with so and so amount, right? And Rakesh account will be debited with so and so amount. Rakesh, why it is debited? Because from his fund it is getting reduced, and Sri Lakshmi it is getting credited in her account. So she was receiving the amount. Okay, so these kind of transactions will be recorded with the help of this individual ledger accounts. Okay, so for creation of ledger account, it's straightforward, very simple. We will click on new. Okay, and we will specify the main account number. It's a we can enter maximum 10 digit. Okay, if you want to enter more than 10 digit, then it need to be customized. Okay, it will be a definitely it will be a numeric main account number. Like for example, I am giving. Okay, so at here I need to provide the name, any name, and I need to classify the account type. So what do you mean by account type? So as I said that we may have financial statement is classified into two different heads. One is the balance sheet and profit and loss. And in balance sheet also we have classified different head. Okay, uh, in balance sheet we have assets and liability, and in our P&L again it is classified in four different heads. One is direct income, direct expenses, indirect expenses, indirect income. Okay, so this classification of account can be done with the help of main account type. Okay, currently it is classified as profit and loss. Okay, when I say profit and loss, it may be any of these particular four combination. Okay, next you can see the main account category. Okay, so this we can utilize for grouping the ledger account. Okay, other than that, mainly we will use, see, this is the list of main account type. As I said, profit and loss. Inside profit and loss you may have revenue or expenses. Okay, and balance sheet I have already informed, balance sheet either it may be asset or liability. So for reporting purpose you can schedule, you can select the balance sheet, and you can classify the individual account as asset or liability. Okay, equity is one of your balance sheet item. Okay, so these are the different classification, so you can see all these kind of list. Other than that, we have some administration rule, like for example you can see there is a checkbox, do not allow manual entry. So if you check this particular checkbox, so what will happen, when you are doing any transaction, it will block you over there stating that you cannot post this particular ledger account manually. It should be either purchase order or sales order. It will be automatically post. Okay, from general transactions, manual ledger transactions, it will not post. It will block you over there. Okay, so this is suspend. If you want to suspend any ledger account, you can click on this particular suspend, and after that, based on that, it will be suspended. Okay, and you can give the active from and to date also. Like for example, if you want to use this particular ledger account for specific time, you can give from and to date. Okay, other than that, you can specify the default currency over here for this particular ledger account. So at here you can see default currency. Okay, so other than that, if you scroll down, you can see legal entity override. Okay, so what do you mean by legal entity override? Okay, so for example, you may have, let's imagine there is a group of company. Let's imagine Amazon. In Amazon you may have different product and services. Okay, like for example you may have Echo Dot is different subsidiary company. Okay, for Echo Dot entity I need to use couple of main accounts. I will not use the complete chart of account. Okay, so in these selective chart of account main accounts you can utilize for that respective legal entity. That legal entity you can specify over here. Okay, whenever you do the transaction, it will by default it will display over there. Okay, so that is one thing. Like for example at here I am adding a legal entity. This is taking little bit time. So at here when I add legal entity, so it will ask me to select which legal entity I need to add it. Okay, like for example at here I am selecting USRT. For this particular legal entity, if I need to map any like for example if I need to suspend this particular main account for that particular legal entity, I can suspend. Okay, other than that, if I want to provide some dimensions, default dimensions, you can click on this particular default dimension and you can make it fixed. Currently it is, you can see it is not fixed, right? So at here we may have two options, one is fixed and another one is not fixed. So when is it is fixed, you may do whatever transaction with any dimension, it will be automatically transferred with this particular dimension segment. Okay, so we will see financial dimension more, and you can restrict not to allow post manual entry. You can see this is the checkbox. If you check it for this particular legal entity, this particular main account, it will not allow you to post the manual entry. Okay, so you can add, like you can create multiple main accounts like this. This is one way of creation of ledger account. Another way, we have Excel added. Okay, so Excel added, it's a added advantage to the Dynamics 365. Okay, to open Excel add-in, what we need to do, you can see there is a Microsoft Office symbol is there. Okay, on your right side. So if you click on this particular Microsoft Office, and it will display two heads over here, open in Excel, export in Excel. Okay, so when you click on open in Excel, it will be a editable form. You can enter the details and you can publish it, and the same details will be populated over here. If you export in Excel, it will be exported and you can save for your recording purpose, or you can share that export file with any of them. Okay, For example, if I want to add some more, like for example, I have 50 main accounts which I need to add manually. So instead of adding manually, I can go to the open in Excel. Okay, you can see in open in Excel I have clicked on main account. Okay, so once you click on main account, uh, there is a open in Excel download button will be there. You will click this particular download. Okay, so once you click on download, a file will be downloaded. So you can see there is a file has been downloaded. So I have opened this particular file. Okay, so you can see it is a protected view Excel sheet. If I click on enable editing, now you can see Microsoft Office add-in. Okay, so at here, if you are logging for the first time this Microsoft Excel, so it will ask for the authentication. So currently I have already logged in. So let me do one more thing. Let me log out and show you how the authentication will be there. Okay, so once you open this particular Excel file, as I'm logging for the first time, you can see it will ask for the sign in. So you will click on sign in and it will ask for the authentication. And once you have updated your username and password, it will be logged in. Okay, now you can see all the information which we have, which we are able to see over here in our environment. So at here, whatever the main accounts we are able to view, all these main account has been open in Excel. Okay, now at here, if you want to modify any of thing, you can modify it. Like for example, at here, if I want to update one more main account, so I can add it. Like for example, 100010002 demo 2. Okay, same profit and loss account I am selecting. Okay, and you can update the rest all the information same as the above line. Okay, and after updating this information, you can see on data connector side you have publish. So once you click on publish successful and workbook has been updated. Okay, now let's see this particular main account has been created in D365 or not. For that you can go to the D365. Okay, just refresh this particular page and filter with that particular main account 1000100. You can see this is the demo 2 which we have created, right? So you can update similar way multiple main accounts. Like for example, if you have 2000 main accounts, you can create in single shot with the help of Excel add-in. Okay, so similarly Excel add-in is an add-on advantage you can utilize for the master upload, and you can utilize for the transactional data, and you can utilize for any kind of records which you can update it. Okay, so this is one way of doing the update. Okay, so I can close this particular form and the page will be closed, and whatever record you have created, it will be there like this. So we have seen the main account with the Excel add-in, and similarly we can import this particular file with the help of data management. So data management is nothing but uh, it is a data export and import framework, basically it is known as, where you can export the data from the Dynamics, and even you can import the data. Okay, uh, you have a different workspace for that. So you can see in the home screen itself you will find the data management. So if you see in this particular workspace, you can see the data management. This is one of the workspace. Okay, so you will work in this particular workspace mostly at the time of data migration, or when you are importing your master data, transactional data at the UAT, before UAT, pre scheduling of UAT, pre-go live of UAT. During that stage, you will work a lot on this particular data management. Okay, you will work of importing the all the kind of master data and transaction data. For each data, you have different data entity. Data entity is nothing but the record which record sets which we need to export, and we use the same record entity to import it. Okay, that is known as data entity. Now at here you can see you have export, import, templates. Okay, so mostly we will work on import and export and copy into legal entities. So these three which we will work basically. Okay, and we will discuss more in next session. Maybe tomorrow we will discuss regarding these three particular topics. Okay, I will explain how it will work and how the data will be exported and how we can import it. So we will see in detail tomorrow on this particular topic. Okay, uh, now coming back to the uh, general ledger. So we have seen the main account category and main account. So all these main accounts is linked in one of the chart of account. Okay, either you create your own chart of account and shared with the all the legal entities, or you can create different chart of account for each different legal entity. Okay, but mostly you will see one chart of account for complete group of legal entities. Okay, now you can see, so we have chart of account, and in one chart of account you may have multiple legal entities, sorry, multiple ledger accounts. Okay, and once we have main account, chart of account, main account category, so this is the main concept in creation of accounts. Next we have a dimensions. So what do you mean by dimension? Dimension is nothing but the segment. Okay, so you may have different departments. Okay, you may have different verticals, you may have different industry, you may have different projects. Okay, you may have different mm, under cost, and you may have different cost centers. Okay, different divisions. So when you are making any transaction and you want to know exactly what was my expenses related to individual department wise. Okay, under department in which division what is my expenses. Okay, so we can achieve with the help of segments. So at here our segments is nothing but department, division, business unit, cost center. Okay, these all are the segments. Okay, in some terminology it is called as segments, in some terminology they will call as financial dimensions. Okay, it depends on the ERP what they are utilizing it. Okay, mostly you will see in Oracle it's known as segments. In Dynamics we call as financial dimension. In these they are business unit, department are the standard dimensions. Okay, when I say the standard dimension, you can create this dimension value directly from the organization. Okay, like for example, I want to create the business unit. For that I can directly go to the organization administration. Okay, under organization, okay, you can see operating unit. So under operating unit I can create my 1 minute. Okay, so it here it is not this form giving some little bit slow. So when you click over here new, so you will have option business unit, department, and cost center. These three are your standard dimension. Okay, so if they ask any, if you go for any implementation and they say that I have a say a dimension segments, department, cost center, these two are the standard which you can directly create over here by clicking on new, and you will select either it is a department, you will select the department and you will give the department code and the department name. Okay, like head here and search name. So you will update these two and you will click on save and the record will be created over here. Okay, currently this new button clicking some problem is there for me in this particular instance. Okay, the the reason why I'm not able to click new button in the organization because of the roles issue. Okay, so similarly you can create for the cost center, department and business unit. These three are our standard dimension. Other than that, if you need to create any more segment, yes you can create. For that you can go to the same general ledger module, chart of accounts. Under dimension you have financial dimension. Okay, and when you open this particular form you can see there is a pop-up which giving you over here if you want to activate any custom dimension. The custom dimension is nothing but which you are manually creating the dimension and you are updating the dimension value. So if you want to create this particular dimension value, you need to activate with the help of maintenance mode. Okay, we can do without maintenance board also. There are some tricks also there. I will tell you in tomorrow session with the help of data management. Okay, now so at here it was saying what is LCS. LCS is nothing but life cycle services. Okay, like for example you these servers are linked with life cycle services. Okay, so you can directly navigate lcs.dynamics.com and if you log in with the respective email ID. Okay, let me logged in. Okay, so so this is the LCS server where all your instance, like for example this particular instance will be located over inside this particular LCS. Okay, so at here you can able to see two additional servers. One is for the UAT, another one is for the production. So at here you will find the implementation project. So what kind of implementation will be there, that respective implementation project will be available over here. Okay, and if you click this particular implementation it will show you the respective information. Like for example I have one thing, let me show you. Let's see if it is work. I will show you some sample this one. Just give me a minute. Okay, like for example this is one of the life cycle instance. Okay, you can see when you open this particular form you can see this is the implementation project. Okay, when you click on this particular implementation project At here you have the dates, respective dates of achieving the target, and when it means as operate, it means as that is the go live tentative date. Okay, so at here you can find the different instance, like on your right side you can see standard acceptance test production. Okay, so this is the UAT instance, you can see UAT states, and this is the production instance. Okay, so when you click on full details of this particular instance, and this is the complete form, and from here you can open the URL to navigate the application. So from here you can see login to environment. If you click this one, and it will open that respective instance. Okay, so when I say instance over here is nothing but your ERP, your this particular instance. Okay, whether if it is UAT, then it will be UAT. If it is a production, it will state as production. Okay, so you need to set, if you are creating any financial dimension, you need to set this particular instance under maintenance. You need to set as uh, maintenance mode, enable maintenance mode, and then you need to activate it. Then again you need to come over here in this particular instant and disable the maintenance mode. Okay, to enable the financial dimensions. Okay, so at here you can create your custom dimension. It's straightforward, very simple. You will click on new over here. Gautam, is that instance is ready? Okay, so at here you will click on new, and at here by default it will be a custom dimension, and you will update the dimension name. Okay, and at here the status will be inactive, and at here you need to enable copy the dimension value on each. So if you enable this particular toggle as yes, so whenever you create any transaction, like for example if we have vendor, okay, when you create a vendor transaction, vendor master, automatically a record of that particular vendor account number will be added to the dimension master. Okay, similarly project, similarly customer, similarly bank. Okay, even fixed asset also. So once you have created this particular activity as a dimension, and if you click on dimension value, so at here we will specify what dimension value I need to create it by clicking on new, and you will give the dimension name, dimension value number and name. Okay, so whatever the dimension value number and name we will give, that particular dimension value can be utilized in the accounting structure. Okay, so these conceptual are little bit uh, this main account, chart of account, dimension, these are interlinked, has because you need to create the accounting structure based on it. Okay, so in financial dimension we will create the custom dimension value over here under the financial dimension. Okay, I don't know why the new button is not enabling for me. Okay, and other than that you have financial dimension sets. Okay, so why we use these financial dimension sets? Okay, so these financial dimension sets are used for reporting purpose. Okay, like for example you have a trial balance. Trial balance is nothing but you have all the ledger and the transactional records stored in that particular ledger account, and you want the specific date of month closing, month end date. I have won the closing balance so far. Okay, so either you want to see the closing balance based on the financial dimension sets, the respective dimension value what you have given over here as selected in that particular dimension sets, you want to view it, or you want to view only with the main account. So we can utilize these financial dimension sets and we can run our trial balance. Okay, that I will show you. Like for example, if I'm going to the same general ledger module, okay, under inquiries and report we have a trial balance. Okay, so this is one of the inquiry form. Okay, you can give from and to date, and if you click on calculate balance, so what it will do, it will give the main account name, opening balance and closing balance. Okay, so at here you have another concept called financial dimension set. If you click on this particular parameter, you can see financial dimension set. Like for example, I want to run this particular trial balance based on like imagine main account, business unit and department. So I will select this particular financial dimension sets, and if I click on calculate balance, then you can see this trial balance will run based on the main account. Again it will be subclassified with the business unit, again it will be subclassified with the department, and it will give the combination of name and their opening closing balance. Okay, so that is the use of financial dimension sets. And we have another concept in the chart of account. Okay, that is the financial dimension integration. No. So if you go to the general ledger chart of account, okay, under chart of account, under dimension, you have financial dimension configuration for integration application. Okay, so this one is very much useful for integration of financial data set with the help of Excel utility if you are trying to do any transactional record. Okay, so you will specify what dimension format I need to set my uh, what dimension format I need to set inside the Excel sheet. Okay, so based on that, it will be seamless integration will happen with the D365. Okay, similarly, this financial dimension set combination is utilized in your uh, import and export in data management. Okay, so what format you have set over here, and the same format you can set in the accounting structure. Okay, so financial dimension set integration is basically to import or export the Excel data from the Dynamics into Excel format, or you can use the data management for any other formats. Like if you want to export in XML, you can export. .cvv format you can export. Okay, but when you are open, click on open in Excel, so the transaction financial data information how you want to view it, so based on that this combination will be done over here. Like for example, uh, we will create one more accounting structure, and based on that we will configure, and you can see how the accounting details will be populated over there. Okay, so these three are main in the financial dimension. Okay, so once these three is done, we have configuration of accounting structure. So this is one of the key topic. So when you say configuration of accounting structure, it means that how you want to classify your accounting structure based on with the dimension sets. Okay, when I say the dimension sets, it's nothing but the segments, how you want to utilize your segments. Okay, let's imagine you have 5 dimension segments: business unit, department, cost center, division, project. Okay, now I want to utilize uh, along with my main account, business unit, department. Okay, and division, cost center and project. Project I will utilize for a couple of the main accounts. Rest all these two are dimensions related to the let me classify in some other way. I may have some sample. Let me show you. Just give me a minute. Okay, now you can see, so this is my main account. Okay, this is the main account name and type of main account and category. And you can see I have a dimension over here: company, department, cost center, intercompany, and project. Okay, so at here you can see, for example, if my main account starts with 1, I have classified as account type as assets. Okay, for example, if I select the main account starts from 2, is my liability. Sorry, this is also asset. I mean, I have classified as non-current assets. Okay, and if I select number 3, is my equity. Okay, and if I select number 4, is my liability. Okay, so up to 4 is my balance sheet items. Okay, if I select number 5, this is also non-current liability. Okay, this is also my balance sheet item. If I select number 6, so these all are my revenue. Revenue comes under P&L itself. Profit and loss, either it may be a direct income or indirect income. Okay, and if I click on number 7, main account starting with 7, these all are my expenses. Irrelevant, either it may be my direct expense or indirect expenses. Okay, now I have classified over here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 and number 9. The main account which starts with 9, these all are my conversion account. Okay, mainly we will utilize this 9 series account for opening transactions. Okay, other than opening transactions, once we have loaded our opening transaction, again we will make this as 0. Okay, now when you see this particular 1, 2, 3 series, 7 series main account, okay, like for example in first particular 1, 2, let's select 1 and 2. Okay, for these two main account, you can see at here my company dimension and department dimension, cost center, intercompany and project. Okay, you can see when I say mandatory, it means it should be fill up. Okay, when I say mandatory, it means fill up. When I say default, that may be a default value 000. Okay, when I say allow blank, even if you allow as blank, it will allow you to post the transaction. Okay, now you can see for company dimension it's completely mandatory. Department, for few it's allow blank, for few it's mandatory. Okay, and similarly for project, for few it's allow blank, for few it have a default value, and for few it is mandatory to update. Okay, so like these segments where I want as mandatory, that can be classified with the help of accounting structure. Okay, so these dimension segments which they require that respect to main account, that will be informed by the client. I want this particular dimension is mandatory for this particular ledger account. So once he explained that one, so based on that particular dimension, that particular main account, we will make it as mandatory. Okay, so how we will make it as mandatory inside Dynamics with in accounting structure? Let me show you that. Okay. Uh, okay, so at here what we need to do, we can create a new accounting structure. Click on new and give the name and description and click on create. Okay, so once you click on create, your accounting structure format will be opened over here. Now you can see by default the main account is populating over here, and you can see the asterisk symbol, the star symbol. The star symbol indicates that you can enter any main accounts. Okay, if I scroll down, you can see allow value details blank if you want to allow blank, and main account is likely star. It can be anything, any main account. Okay, Now at here I need to add the segment. Like for example, I need to add the department or company. Okay, you can see add segment, click on add segment. Okay, and at here select the respective segment. Like for example, at here I need to select company, so I see if any company is there or not. Okay, there is no company, so let me select some alternative. Like for example, I will select as business unit, add segment. Okay, now you can see the business unit has been added. Similarly, let me add another segment. I need to add cost center. Okay, I have added cost center. Similarly, let me add the department. Okay, I have added the department. Now let me add another. Let's add project. Okay, so at here I have added other than main account, I have added four different dimension segment. If I want to move left or right, if I want to realign it, I can realign with the help of, first I need to select the segment, and like for example department, I have selected or clicked that particular department, and you can see segment action and move left or move right. Okay, if you want to remove from the this particular accounting structure configuration, you can delete it and you can re-add it. Okay, so I want to move right or left, so I will click on move left, for example. Now you can see the cost center move right and department move left. Okay, now I want to add the main account details. Like for example, at here first I will select the main account and I will come down. At here I have the main account. Okay, operation. So this operator is nothing but how you want to operate it. Is it with begin with, ends with, or in between includes, or is between, or greater than and include. Okay, so we have different expressions over here which utilize for the condition. So based on that you can utilize it. Okay, so at here I am selecting as begin with. Okay, so when I say begin with, so the main account, let's imagine the main account starting with 1 and I will press as asterisk. Okay, so it means that the main account start with 1 and after that whatever it may be. Okay, when I say asterisk, it may be whatever after 1. Okay, and I will click on apply. Now you can see previously it is okay, so at here you can see it is updating as 2 asterisks. Okay, why it is updating 2 asterisks? Already when you say begin with, you have given the begin with, after that by default system is taking the asterisk symbol. Okay, now you can see, let me reapply. Now it's took. When I remove over here, you can see it has been took. Okay, now uh, the main account cannot be blank value. Okay, main account will always have the ledger account. Okay, main account is equal to ledger. Main account is nothing but ledger account. Okay, don't be confused with the terminology in main account, ledger account. Both are same. Okay, now at here business unit, I need to specify a few business unit which will be utilized for this particular main account. Okay, like for example at here if I classify the business unit. Okay, so at here let me see what values are available inside the business unit, and I can utilize that. But if I give that particular value over here which is already exists in the business unit value. Okay, so if you are trying to do any one series transaction with different without business unit dimension what we have specified in the GL, I mean the accounting structure, then it will not allow you to post. Like for example, chart of account dimension, financial dimension. Business unit, and if you see the dimension value, so we have 1 2 3 4. Okay, so let's imagine I'm selecting 005. Okay, instead of is like, so I am selecting is. it means equal to 005. So what is our 005 over here? 005 is electronics. Okay. Now after that, click on apply. Now you can see the business unit has applied to 005. Next we have a department. So in department, let's go to the dimension and let's see what was the department values are there. Okay, inside department we have values starting with 0 to 2. Okay, let's imagine 025 is 025, which is nothing but our IT. So similarly you can add multiple criteria over here. Instead of is, what I will do, I will is between 022 to 026. Okay, so at here what I have given is in between 022 and 026. So if you see the dimension value 022 and 026, so in this particular range I can utilize any one of the department dimension. Okay, and next, cost center, the asterisk symbol is means it's a anything, it's a mandatory. Okay, so I want cost center is blank for the one main account series. So I will click on allow blank this particular checkbox, and similarly for the project, allow blank. Okay, and so we will create like this for all the main accounts starting with 1 2 3 4 5 6 7. Okay, and after that you will click on activate. So once you click on activate, there will be a backend batch job will be run, and which will be activated in the backend. So once the accounting structure is activated, now this particular accounting structure you can utilize in your transaction. Like for example, let it get activate. Yeah, now it is activated, right? Now we have main account, we have chart of account, and we have the accounting structure. Okay, now what we need to do, we need to navigate to the general ledger module. Under general ledger module, under ledger setup, we have a ledger. Click on this particular ledger. Okay, at here we will map our chart of account, our calendar we have mapped in our previous session. Okay, so at here we will update our accounting structure. Okay, so currently you can see we have manufacturing balance sheet, P&L, and statistical. Okay, so let me remove. I think it will not allow you to remove the transaction. If any open transaction is there, it will not allow you to remove. Let's see. Okay, now you can see on top it's not allowing to remove this particular transaction. The reason behind why I want to remove and I need to replace the accounting structure, the main reason is you have a couple of transactions which are open, so because of that it is not allowing to remove that particular this particular record. Okay, so let's see if I have any some other legal entity. Let's see. Mm, okay, at here some I have Z and Z. Let's see. Okay, no issues. Let me quickly create one purchase, one another legal entity. Okay, for creation of legal entity, we will go to the organization administration, legal entities. Let me click on new. Sorry. Okay, so I have updated the company name, company code, and country region. I have clicked on OK. Now my legal entity has been ready. Okay, now in this particular legal entity, what I will do, I will go to the I'll go to the general ledger setup. Okay, now let me click on edit and let me match the chart of account that is shared. Let me map the calendar. Okay, now let me add the accounting structure. I have reshared my screen. Hope you are able to view it. Yeah. So at here, what we are creating, we have updated the chart of account. We have selected the calendar. Okay. I have updated the currency. Other than that, now I am mapping the accounting structure. So we have created the accounting structure as demo data. Okay. So let me go to the add and let me select the demo data, and I have selected and I have clicked on OK. And it was asking, do you want to add this one demo data? So I've clicked on yes. Now this particular transaction record has been added. Okay, now let's imagine, now if I'm creating any one transaction, I will show you how it will work, how it will work over here in the transaction level. So what dimension segment we have used. So let me navigate to M module, sorry, legal entity. Okay, now if I'm going to the journal ledger, journal entries. Okay, so this journal entry is nothing but where we will record our daily transactions. Okay, I'm clicking new, nothing is there, so let me create one journal. Just give me a minute, I need to update one more thing for this particular legal entity number sequence. So this chart of account, main account, categories, financial dimension, accounting structure is shared for with all the legal entities. Okay, that particular form is shared with all the legal entities. You can open and you can map it at any time. Okay, so if you have created one legal entity, then it will be automatically appeared in another legal entity and you can select it. As you can see, I have added the demo data which I have created in USMF entity. Now I have mapped in M&M legal entity. taking time. Gautam, are you there? Gautam? Okay, Gautam is not there. Allow me to generate this voucher series, then we will proceed further. Okay. Um, Voucher number is mandatory. Without voucher number, our ledger account will not hit. Okay. So that was the reason at here we are generating the voucher number sequence for all the modules. System will generate based on that. A reference number will be created during the transaction. Okay, so I can create manually one voucher series format and I can assign and I can proceed further. Meanwhile, let's see that. Okay, so at here in general ledger module we have one more to create any general transaction we need to create the general names. For that we will go to the general ledger module. Okay, under setup, ledger general setup, we have a general names. Okay, so at here I will click on new and at here I am creating the general name like JV. JV is nothing but the general voucher. Okay, this is the daily basis transactional, so that was the reason general type I am selecting as daily. Okay, in voucher series, right, I am clicking this particular down arrow right button and view details. So at here I'm mapping the new voucher series for this particular general voucher by clicking on new JV general voucher. Okay, so at here we have a scope. Do you want to share this particular voucher series across all the legal entity, or you want to share respective one legal entity? So you can select that respective over here. So at here, like for example, I have selected the company. So in company I'm selecting M and M. Okay, so in segment we will specify the format how you want it. Like for example, now you can see when I selected company as M&M, and you can see M&M it's 3 and contain constant it is 1 and 9 is alphanumeric. Okay, so this length maximum it can be 20. If it is exceeded more than 20 characters, then we need to replace with the new number sequence. Okay, so currently I'm reducing 3 quantity over here, so let's imagine it's 6. And once you have updated it here, the alphanumeric as a 6, and you need to update in one more places under general tab. At here we have a 9, right? So at here we need to reduce 3 nines. At here it should be 6 nines, and this largest this nines is interlinked with your alphanumeric. If these are not matching, then it will give a error message stating, as you can show, I can show you over here. Now you can see once I refresh the once I click on save button, there is one pop-up message which I have received yet in use. You can see on top there is an error message stating as the format cannot constrain specific interval. So which means the interval at here we have mentioned as 6 alphanumeric, and but at here we have mentioned as how many nines? 1 2 3 4 and 4. It's 8 nines. So which is incorrect. So it was asking to reduce the intervals. So now I have updated as 6 and I have clicked on save, and I am making as continuous as yes. Save the record and come back. Now at here what I am doing, at here in this particular journal name I am mapping that particular journal voucher series, and I have saved the record. So at here my journal voucher has been created. Now if I go to the journal entries, journal, okay, if I click on new, at here in under names you can find the journal number, journal batch number. This journal batch number, it should be updated automatically. That number sequence still, yeah, wizard is open. Let us complete this number wizard. Finish. Let it generate. So at here when I go to the lines, okay, we need to wait. This process need to be complete. Let me delete this one. We need to wait couple of minutes more. Let this number sequence process will complete, then we will create the transaction. Okay, now it has been published. Now if I create a new transaction under journal, ledger setup, journal ledger parameter, number sequence, let's see, it is mapped. Yeah, now you can see the number sequence, it has been mapped. Now if I go to the JV lines, okay, now you can see if I go to the ledger and if I open my accounting structure, so at here when I select the main account as main account begin with 1 and have only one specific business unit which can be utilized. Okay, if I select some other business unit, it will block my transaction. It will not allow you to proceed further. Okay, now let me demonstrate how it will work based on our accounting structure. So at here in main account, I am selecting any one series. Okay, let's imagine I'm selecting as cash account. Okay, now you can see in cash account there is a I symbol. Okay, so what over it is stating as the value is not allowed for manual entry. Enter another value. Okay, so you know this error message why it's coming over here. So if you go to the view details, okay, for this particular main account, you can see at here don't allow manual entry checkbox has been checked. Okay, so that was the reason. Okay, so that was the reason. Now if I am selecting this particular main account, it was giving this particular error message, and if I proceed further, again it will come over here and it will block the transaction. Okay, either I need to uncheck that particular checkbox, or I can modify the ledger account. Okay, so let me select some other ledger account, like for example I have selected deposit cash. Okay, now at here by default you can see the electronic business unit is populating. You can see at here by default electronic business unit which is populating. Okay, let's imagine if I change to 01. Okay, if I press on save, now you can see the business unit is not allowed value for this combination. So what this particular error message stating as, if you see our accounting structure, for any one series main account, we allow only 05 as a dimension value for the business unit. So if we use some other dimension value, it will give this particular error message. Okay, I hope you have understand this one. Now let me change this particular main account dimension as 05 again. Okay, now if I didn't select any department dimension, okay, blank are not allowed for department in the combination. Okay, so what this particular error message stating as, if you see our accounting structure, in department we have specific range. Okay, and this is mandatory. There is no blank allow, is we didn't enable allow blank value. Okay, so yet here the department dimension is mandatory and we need to select it. If we didn't select, then it will give error message as blank is not allowed in department for the combination. Okay, so at here let me select the department dimension. So if I place cursor in department, you can see I have a specific range. So those range values are displaying over here. Okay, let's imagine I'm selecting finance. Now my cost center is non-mandatory. Okay, now at here you can see I have a cost center is there, project is there, and I have given allow blank. Okay, so that was the reason you can see my cost center and project is blank. If you want to update the information, you can update. It will allow you to update the transaction. You can see the asterisk symbol, it means it is required, and two double quotes, open and close double quotes indicates for allow blank. Okay, so both the combination is allowed in this particular cost center. So that was the reason it was allowing blank also. So this is so based on this particular combination, our ledger account will work like this. So if you have any doubt in this particular ledger transaction level, how it will work, if you have any query, you can raise it. Okay, similarly, mostly we will update the cost center and department as mandatory in the P&L accounts. When I say P&L accounts, either it may be your expense or income, your direct expenses, indirect expenses, direct income or indirect income. Okay, for these four combination, it can be mandatory. Okay, now I will share you a one Excel file. Okay, so this is a sample chart of account for your reference. So this is the Excel file which I've shared in this particular chart session. So you can, based on this, you can if your clients ask you to share me a template, you can share this one for your reference. Okay, and based on that they can select the main account and you can recreate the same main account over here inside the Dynamics. Okay, so similar way you can classify your accounting structure. As I have classified only for the only one series, similarly you can classify for rest all. Now if I want to modify anything in this accounting structure, yes, you can modify. First you need to click on edit. So once you click on edit, it will change from active to draft. Okay, and you can modify the details. Like for example, at here we have mentioned as is, right? So at here I am giving is include in between 01 to 025. Okay, and I have clicked on apply. So this particular range it is allowed. Okay, and similarly for rest all I'm updating the same. So let's imagine at here, let me remove this one. For this is I have mentioned as 1, right? So let me add another criteria where main account begin with 2. Let me add another main account begin with 3. Okay, for this 1 2 3 I have mentioned this is the requirement. Okay, now let me add another new line. So at here where I am specifying the main account begin with 4, add main account begin with 5, add more, 6, okay. Now I have mentioned 4 5 6 7. These all are my P&L accounts. So at here I have mentioned asterisk 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 asterisk. Okay, now what this asterisk symbol, star symbol, as I said, it's a mandatory. Without allowing this particular field you cannot, I mean without updating the data in this particular field you will not proceed further. Okay, now let me activate this particular accounting structure. Okay, now it has been added to the batch for activation. Now accounting structure has been activated. Let's for example, now in this particular record itself, so at here I have selected the transaction as like this. Okay, if I scroll towards my right, you can see the debit amount and credit amount. Okay, so let's imagine from this particular account I'm removing 500. Okay, and I'm transferring to which account? Like for example, I'm transferring to the some 4 series account. Okay, like service revenue. Okay, you can see now by default my business unit department is auto populated. From where this this 2 dimension is getting populated? From this side. From at here we have updated my department and business unit, right? So from here these 2 dimensions were auto populated in offset account side. Now at here you can see on top I am getting error stating as the cost center is not allowed blank, so I need to select the cost center. So let me select it, and similarly for the project also. So if I select any if I leave blank for the project, now on top you can see the project dimension need to be updated. Okay, so currently there is no project dimension value is there. So until we update this particular project dimension, until that you will get that particular error message. Even if I save this particular record, Okay, record has been saved. If I try to post this particular record, you can see you will get error message stating as the project dimension must be filled in. Let me show you that. Okay, now you can see there is an error message. Okay, if you click on message details, you can see you must select a value of project dimension field combination for the following dimension value that are valid. Okay, so at here you can see what are the dimension value which you have entered. It's showing over here, and the account transaction type error doesn't exist, so this is a different error. So what this particular error indicates and what this particular error message. So in top, the first error message it's giving us the dimension project need to be updated, and there is a error account which need to be mapped. So what do you mean by error account? So this is nothing but we have a couple of standard posting, standard transactional auto posting profile is there. Okay, which is available inside the general ledger module, where we will classify our rounding off account, discount account. Okay, so these kind of accounts we will map over there inside the uh, accounts for automatic transaction posting. Okay, so at there is a error account we have called, we will known as error account. For that particular account we need to map the ledger account. If you have not mapped until that, it will give that particular error message. Okay, so which account we need to map? So basically we will map our round off account over there in the error account. Okay, to map that particular account, what we need to do, first we will go to the in another tab. First we will go to the project dimension. First we will add the project dimension value. For that we need to go to the general ledger. Okay, and dimension, financial dimension, and at here let us select the dimension project, department, product, project. Okay, let us go to the dimension value. It's available. These dimensions were restricted in the legal entity level. Okay, so I will do one thing. Let me remove the dimensions project accounting structure demo data. So what I will do, I will make this project as yellow blank. Yellow blank, up, activate. So first we have solved the dimensions issue, and second we need to update the posting profile for error account. Okay, so for that we need to navigate to the general ledger module. Under general ledger module you can see the posting setup. Under posting setup we have accounts for automatic transaction. Click on this accounts for automatic transaction, click on add, select posting type as error account. Okay, and select the main account for rounding. rounding difference. Okay, save it. Similarly, you can add over here for the discount. Vendor discount, vendor cash discount. Okay, similarly for customer cash discount. Okay, similarly you can add the return earnings. So return earnings, at here return earning is nothing but uh, okay, I will show you that one. Okay, so for temporarily I have mapped around three. One is discount, okay, cash discounts and error account. Let me save. And in this particular journal, now let me refresh this particular page. Now we have allowed as blank. Okay, now if I post this particular transaction, now there will be no error message, as we have already enabled the project as allow blank and we have specified the error account. Now you can see the transaction will be posted. Okay, now so you can see the operation has been completed. Now if you go to the trial balance, okay, enquiries and report trial balance. Okay, now if I run on based on the main account, now you can see you will see only the two main accounts which have the balance. Okay, one is the deposit, another one the service revenue, which we have posted right now. Okay, now if you want to see this particular transaction record based on the department or cost center, you can select with the help of financial dimensions. Okay, like for example at here I am selecting main account, business unit, department, cost center, and I've run the calculate balance. Now you can see for one transaction we didn't given the cost center, for another transaction we have given the cost center. Okay, so you can easily export it and you can validate the balances. Okay, so this is used for the financial dimension sets and financial dimension, how we will utilize in the transaction level with the help of accounting structure. So that is the conceptual where accounting structure will come over there. Okay, so we have seen one of the major ledger. Okay, next we have a general ledger parameter. So what this particular ledger parameter will indicate. So at here we have two major things in this particular general ledger parameter. One is the financial year closing. In financial year closing we will enable the delete the closing year, this one, and only this we will keep it. Okay, and rest all will be remain same as it is. There is no change in this particular form. And also we have one more thing. You can see there is a allow multiple transaction in one within one voucher. Okay, so if you enable this particular this particular toggle as yes, okay, then what will happen, you can create a transaction with multiple vouchers. So before enabling this particular toggle as yes, okay, now if I go to the general ledger, okay, so before that I need to create one vendor. So let us create one vendor. So to create vendor, we must require vendor group. So let me create first vendor group. Local. Okay. Now let me create a vendor master. All vendor. So at here I am creating a new vendor. Okay. So at here I will give some random name, like for example echo dot, and let me give the group as 10. At here we have customized, so that was the reason this organization number, it is a mandatory, otherwise it's a optional. Okay, so similarly let me create another customer, sorry, another vendor. Okay, so let me give some random name. Okay, so at here I have two vendors. Okay, so when I am doing the transaction, one more thing, I will tell you why I am updating over here. We will see in detail. Okay, now if I am going to the journal ledger, journal entries, journal. Okay, so if I am creating a new transaction, journal. Now at here I have voucher number MAM 00002. At here I am changing the account type as vendor. Okay, at here I have selected the vendor 1, echo dot, and I have given the amount, vendor credit balance, and at here in same I have pressed down arrow, or you can click on new to add another line. So at here also I am selecting another vendor 002. Okay, so at here also I have given the amount as 1000. Okay, now again I am pressing new, or I can click on down arrow. Okay, so at here I am selecting the ledger account. Okay, so at here I am selecting the ledger account has let's imagine some 7 series or 6 series. Okay, and I'm giving the business unit, department, cost center, project I'm leaving blank. Okay, now similarly I let me update the dimension for both of them. Okay, first for this particular main account, where for vendor, cost center is not required, department. Okay, now let me update for another vendor. Okay, now you see I have created a transaction. Okay, so this transaction is known as double entry system. In double entry system, what will happen, you may have different line of debit, different line of credit. Okay, So in this particular transaction, if you see, I have two vendor and one ledger transaction in one voucher. Okay, now if I save this particular record, okay, now if I try to post this particular transaction, you will receive a error message stating as, let me show you that. So at here you will receive a error message stating as it's already done. 1 minute. Okay. So this error message, what it was stating as, we have to specify the accounts payable parameter posting profile for the vendor, okay, which I have not specified. So that was the reason it was giving me that particular error. So let me update the posting profile. We will see in detail about this one in further. So currently let me update this one for random, save it. Yeah, now let me post this particular transaction. Okay, now you can see we have received a error message stating that the posting of journal batch number, okay, and the voucher number. So this is the voucher number. Only one vendor or customer transaction per voucher. Okay, so this particular voucher we have two different vendor. Okay, and this error message stating that you can maximum allow only one customer or vendor per voucher. Okay, if you want to post another transaction with the you need to post the another transaction with different voucher number. So if you want to combine in one voucher with multiple vendor, multiple customer, multiple fixed asset, then what we need to do, we need to go to the general ledger parameter, okay, and we have a allow multiple transaction in one voucher is there, right? We need to enable this toggle, okay, and click on close. This one, it's giving a warning that you won't need to post the multiple like that, and click on save. Now you can post this particular transaction. Okay, now I have saved this particular parameter setting, right? Now if I come over here and close this, refresh this particular form, and if I click on post button, now you can see this particular transaction will be posted. Okay, now you can see we are able to post this particular transaction. Okay, any doubts so far?
No.
Okay,
No,
we
Gautam.
will do one thing, we'll stop over here. We will continue tomorrow morning from the ledger parameter setup. It might be a little bit confused, the terminology. Okay, so when you work more on, when you practice and work on that particular conceptual, you will understand more. Okay, so we will see you tomorrow, and from tomorrow we will continue this ledger parameter configuration, and we will see the data entity, data management conceptual. Okay.
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 Okay, Gautam. Thank you.
Thank you all.